My DMs are always about, I'm going to kill myself. My sister killed herself. My brother killed herself. My father killed herself. Being bi and Asian, I was like, I have both invisibility things in the media. I just don't exist. I'm the invisible woman. I'm such a controlling, calculated person already that I want someone who can sort of not be pushed around by my energy and can push back.
Interesting.
And be like,
Off. The pill.
Okay, ready?
oops.
Welcome back to another episode of Off the Pill podcast. A little late. And today we have a very special guest, Miss Anna K. Akana.
Ooh, my full name.
I know, we checked your Wikipedia. She is a American actress, filmmaker, musician, author, and comedian. She does everything. She's also a YouTuber with over 2.5 million subscribers and over 285 million views. We also have David in the moderator seat.
Hello.
And we have Paco sitting right next to me. There, you did it. You're a little slow today again.
It's a little, I'm a little slow.
Anyway, yeah, we're here with. You know what? I should start doing introducing the guests last. It's a little less awkward, no? How do people normally do those things?
Yeah, maybe.
This is only our third one here in LA, so we're still figuring it out.
Woo!
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for coming. I know
Thanks
you
for
came all the way
having me.
from. I'm not going to say where. I don't know why I said that. I don't want to give away your location.
All the way from Montana.
Yeah.
This is the second time I did that, but yeah, thank you for coming out here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We just learned recently, actually, that. Well, I just learned recently that you're actually part Hawaiian.
Yeah.
That
I'm a
is-
fourth.
Akana's actually Hawaiian.
Yes. And I went to Eva Beach High School.
Did you really?
Yeah. We've had this conversation.
Yeah.
I don't remember you.
Campbell.
So I don't remember.
Yeah. See, he remembers.
This is from the I Dare You we did?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And also Arden. I've just been friends with Arden for a long time.
True. Okay, well,
What?
my bad. I mean,
What's the other three quarters?
Japanese, Filipino, and then a bunch of white.
Can
It's
you
funny
speak
how people say
any foreign languages?
I speak Japanese. I also speak Spanish roughly. Very rough.
are you fluent in Japanese?
Sort of. None of my family speaks, so I'm really rusty. And also, I grew up in Okinawa, which is more like hillbilly Japanese.
That's me.
Yeah.
That's why I'm hairy and dark.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Are you
Isn't it
hairy?
nice?
I am.
Oh.
But I lasered it away, so I'm fine.
Oh, I need to get that then.
And
Yeah.
you also speak Pidgin,
Yeah.
which is technically another language.
Yes.
Well, now it is.
We're
yeah.
bilingual.
Now, I guess. I don't really count it. I think I don't count that as a language. I don't know. Okay. Well, I mean, we were also talking about you just when did you release your music video?
My first one came out in May.
So you were I don't know if we talked off camera about all your music videos coming up. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah. So I did a visual album. It's 13 music videos. A fourth are animated, and I've been releasing one a month, and now I'm currently working on my second.
Wow. That is a lot for people that don't know. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
To get that many.
For people who don't know, Anna, you started off on YouTube.
I started in stand-up as a teenager, and then I started doing YouTube simultaneously because my brother actually showed me one of your videos, you and Natalie Tran, and he was like, look at these people.
Tran.
Yeah.
I did a video.
Community channel.
Yeah,
No,
I
he showed
remember
me both of your channels.
I see.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't remember collabing with her.
no.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, because when you start stand-up, you're doing it in like laundromats or coffee shops, and people are very annoyed that you're trying to talk to them. And I was like, oh, I can voluntarily like click on a video I want to watch. Like, I'll do that as well. Like, so I don't feel like I'm harassing people all the time. And so I sort of really fell in love with Community Channel and you and Happy Slip. And I was like, oh, I love the format that these people are doing. And so I started on YouTube as well.
How long were you doing stand-up comedy?
I started when I was 19. So
Pretty young.
yeah,
Wow.
about a decade.
You did stand-up comedy for a decade.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just recently quit to transition to music.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you're saying you did it here in LA?
Yeah. So I would drive out to LA. And when I was underage, I had to wait outside of the comedy clubs till it was my turn to go on stage, be escorted onto stage, and then be escorted out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I had no idea, actually. I thought you just started with YouTube.
No. YouTube's just kind of what took off because I feel like, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but when YouTube came around, I was like, oh, this is the only place I see other Asian people doing anything, like comedy, lifestyle, beauty, anything at all. And I was like, this is so cool. Like I'd never seen, like Michelle Phan, watching her video, I was like, oh, that's how I like do makeup for my eyes. Like I've been following all these other tutorials that were wrong for my eye shape. And so I feel like
I didn't think about that, actually.
Yeah.
It's like specific to Asian eyes, I guess.
yeah, because when you'd put on like eyeliner, you'd be like, where to go, you know? And
I don't
so
know. I didn't know there was a difference. I thought it was all the same.
no, it's very different. Doing makeup for an Asian face is different.
She was here on the last two podcasts ago, and after the podcast, she did stuff to our faces, like put stuff on us.
Yeah.
I don't know why exactly. We were just hanging out, and then what is it called? The thing on the
Eyeliner.
eyelid.
Yeah.
That stuff is awful, man. That's worse than like when we did the BGA stuff with like K-pop
Yeah.
makeup. It's like torture. You do that to yourself every day.
Yeah, every day.
I wouldn't.
You'd get used to it. You're just not used to
You
something
like-
touching
yeah,
your
you just
eyelid.
lose your nerves there.
Yeah. Or like if you try to put in like in your waterline and then you just have
I feel
hold
like
your
you
eye
should
open.
just tattoo it so that you don't have to ever do it again.
But then if you have to do as an actor, I can't because if I have to do
Oh,
natural
yeah, you're
makeup.
right. How is that going, by the way?
It's great.
You've been acting a lot.
I've been acting a lot.
seen you.
I'm doing a 2 Netflix thing. So I'm in a Netflix
Ooh.
Christmas movie called Let It Snow, which is based on a John Green book. And then I'm also, I don't know if I can announce it technically, but I'm also in Jupiter's Legacy, which is based on a graphic novel. So I play a Japanese assassin in that.
Awesome.
I know.
Dude, so it's Netflix originals?
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy how that's like, I'm doing an ABC show. Oh, cool. That's cool. I'm doing like a NBC, whatever. But Netflix, no, that's,
Yeah.
Netflix is like the new thing. Like I would rather see somebody, they have more consistency. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah.
And they get to be edgier.
Yeah. It's really cool. Apparently they trust creators a lot to do their thing.
Okay,
You,
cool.
you are a hustler. Like you work.
know,
I mean,
that's what I
I
was
was just
saying.
reading through your Wikipedia. You've come out with music. You've done music. You've done YouTube, stand-up comedy, acting. Came out with your own clothing line, a book.
Yeah.
What do you sleep?
I do. I get 7 to 8 hours a night.
And you're very uppity
Yeah.
still.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I really like what I do. I get bored very easily, so I always want to try something new and exciting. I really love learning. And so I see YouTube and all that stuff as my own film school. Yeah. And I also think it's very fun to juggle projects because when I get stuck on one or I get bored, I can just shift to another and feel like invigorated. But when I go back to that other project that I was stuck on before, and yeah, there's like the impending sense of like, oh, I'm going to die and nothing matters. So like maybe I should just work harder.
And I think I want to bring up a Twitter question when
Oh.
it comes to that. Somebody actually asked, I just want to make sure that I get the proper name and credits to them. Caroline Rhodes said, can you walk us through your creative process of making videos? But I wanted to kind of expand this because when making videos, it's going to be completely different from how you do your other projects, such as music or such as when you write your short films and then start wanting to direct them. So what is the process like different? How is it
Oh
different?
man, so different. Well, YouTube, I'm sure you know, when you've been doing it for a decade, I have no ideas anymore. So I write my YouTube videos like the hour before my crew arrives. And often I'll
Really?
like still be finishing it as they're setting up. So YouTube, I've trained myself to just procrastinate till the absolute last possible moment. With everything else, I'm sort of concept based first. So there are certain stories like I've wanted to tell forever. Like I did a stop motion short called Dolore that I'd been working on for 10 years, but kind of accepted like stop motion is a craft I'll never be able to do on my own. So I waited till I had $250,000 to do it right. And I wanted to use that as sort of like a proof of concept because I loved animation and directing. And I came up as a freelance storyboard artist when I was doing stand up. So I would do I learned how to draw anime when I was a kid. And so doing storyboarding and doing animation was like a huge part of my childhood.
Can I add that to your Wikipedia, by the way?
Yeah. If you
don't
could
have
please
enough
adjust
things.
it, that would be
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. With my creative process, it's been very like I'm emotion driven. Like I feel like I transmute a lot of my very deep feelings into art. So my album was born out of wanting to quit comedy because people have threatened to like come shoot me at shows, and comedy
Whoa.
shows don't have security. Every music venue has.
Is that really the main reason?
It's one of the big reasons I stopped
It's a
doing it.
valid reason,
Yeah.
but okay.
So I was really afraid of like, not only putting my life on the line, but somebody else's life on the line, especially after Christina Grimmie got shot.
Yep.
But I'd always done music in my stand-up comedy sets. And so I was like, well, every music venue I've ever been to has security. Like that's just something embedded in that culture. So I feel a lot safer and capable of doing that. And then also I'd went through a really rough breakup and a suicidal episode. And so music is sort of what really helped me come out of that and writing it as well.
Okay. Well, let's go back a little bit because that's a lot for me to.
lot to take in.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
so you quit I feel like that's that's one of the reasons. Obviously, it's not the only reason why you stopped doing stand up,
No, I mean, I've been doing it for so long. I'm a coast comedian. So my stand-up set's all about my abortion, my sister's suicide, dysfunctional Asian family. Midwest audiences don't like it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So I was very limited as a comedian in what I was able to do and the audiences I was able to reach. And once I did it for 10 years, I was like, I either have to really commit to this and figure out a way to make this funny to Midwest audiences, or I just have to accept that I have to step away from comedy for a while.
Right.
Were you focusing mostly on like Asian topics or?
No, a lot of death. Like a lot of my comedy was death based.
Yeah.
So it's like
Darker
very
comedy.
dark.
Yeah, very dark.
So you're saying that in the comedy world that when you get that dark, it's not as popular?
Like Midwest people want to, they go to a comedy show to escape. So they want to hear like guys are like this and girls are like this. Whereas in LA and New York, where you're exposed to a lot more, you are down to go on that kind of journey with me. Like you're
You can
okay.
push it further.
Yeah, like you're okay to laugh at an abortion joke. Whereas in the Midwest, everyone's like no, that's murder.
It's really
You know?
interesting.
That's
You're
why I
right.
like the
Yeah.
blue collar comedy tour. Like it's so
Yeah.
wild out there.
Yeah.
It's very lighthearted, easy to digest.
Yes.
Wow,
Very, very
that's interesting though. When you so the Christina Grimmie thing. I mean that happened how long ago? Like 2 years ago.
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, that I mean even for me, not that I went to a lot of events and traveled and stuff like that, but after that I literally stopped.
Yeah.
Like everything. I
Yeah.
never really did any more events since that. And it affected me. I'm sure it affected a lot of people, but it really like that's a big thing to you. That's why one of the main reasons you stopped.
Well,
doing comedy?
I've had stalkers over the years, and one stalker, when I was promoting a comedy show, was like, "I'm gonna come and I have something for you." And he'd been emailing
Yeah.
me all the time, and like started talking about how he wishes my sister was alive so that he could fuck her, and like I would be
damn.
jealous. Like it was really disturbing shit. And then he sent an email that basically alluded to. The fact that he had a gun and that he was going to come see me. And so I was like, I dropped out
Send
of the
that to like the police or something.
I did. I hired a private investigator, but we couldn't figure out who he was. So we think he's actually in IT because he was able to mask his IP address and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think that because generally your skits and your, like you said, your comedy, your sets and stuff are a little bit darker? Do you think that's why it drew somebody like that? Because I mean, everyone we talk about, every girl we've had on the podcast has talked about a stalker experience.
Yeah.
But that one is pretty. I haven't heard one that's pretty dark.
Well,
Like,
people, because I'm so outspoken about suicide and mental illness, like a lot of mentally disturbed individuals latch onto me. Like my
Right.
DMs are always about, I'm going to kill myself. My sister killed herself. My brother killed herself. My father killed herself. Like so many of them are that, or I want to fuck you in the butt or something. Like, so it's like sexual or death. And then
Right.
I also get the people who have both. And so it gets a little scary because you're like, I don't know where this person is, how serious they are, if they're just sending something across the internet because they can, or if they actually have a gun and they're going to come drive across
that
the
has
country.
to affect you like a little. Like it has to mess with your mind though. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Are you paranoid?
All
at
the time.
Oh, yeah. That'd be good for you.
Yeah, and getting
It's like serious. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
you're
like
so casual about, it, which I find funny, but I know it's not funny.
Yeah. I mean, as a girl, you just get used to a certain level of danger in everyday life. Yeah.
But I also feel like with your stand-up background, you kind of take like that pain or like that awkwardness and you turn it into something that, you know, can be seen more lighthearted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try.
But also, never mind, forgot my question.
Oh, okay.
I just,
All right.
I just think there's like if I were in your position and getting DMs about like not the sexual stuff. I mean that I wouldn't. Yeah, that's like whatever. But more about the like the more deeper stuff. Like I would feel a very heavy burden on my shoulders, and I wouldn't know how to deal with that. Like, do you? I mean, I'm sure you kind of have to go through things like that, and it's not like you could save everyone. You know, I mean, we all want to, but
Yeah.
I mean, I how do you kind of deal with that? Like, it's very.
That's
I
a
don't know.
good question, actually.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't know
therapy.
how to. So
Yeah, therapy, man. Like I've been in therapy for 10 years and I think it's great. And my therapist was like, do not respond to any of those people.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
She was like, first of all, someone who's very seriously considering suicide is most likely not going to send that out on the internet. They are, you know, internal and they create a plan and you don't see it coming. And she's like, second of all, if you respond once, that person becomes reliant on you and is going to guilt you into having to respond to them every time. And also for my mental health, like I can't, like, I've had friends who have used the suicide thing as like a way to get me to do things, or they're like, emotionally manipulative because they know that's my trigger. And so now I'm just like, I can't engage. Like if someone is very seriously suicidal and I know them and they're my friend, like I know how to be there for them. But if you're a stranger on the internet, I cannot help you in that way.
Right.
Yeah. You got to go to therapy.
On the record, I promise that was my question. I totally forgot. It blanked out of my head.
Oh, really?
It went from your head into David's.
Yeah. Well, because like a lot of people do deal with like people reaching out to them and saying, "Oh, I'm very depressed," and it's just like, how do you mentally, like, oh, is this my issue? You know. So I think for a lot of content creators, hearing that it can guide them through like, oh, this is not for me. It is not my burden to take care of.
Yeah.
I've come to the same conclusion, I think, to not respond, but I've definitely had like moments, like I know I like DMs where I don't want to open it because they'll see that I've read it and didn't do anything about it. But like the top line is like, I really need to talk to you because I'm contemplating suicide. And like, I feel a sense of like even guilt of not opening it, but I know it's not going to help to do that because like, what's to stop from the next like 100 of them, you know? Why just open that one? And then I'm just caught up in this. I never actually talked about this before, but I came to the conclusion not to open it, but I do feel like guilt, you know, because like I don't know what happened to that person. You know what I mean? And like, what if I had opened it and just said one thing and they're fine? I know, like you just said, I came to the same conclusion, but I did always have a little bit of guilt of not opening it because it's not that hard to do. But I guess hearing it from I should go see a therapist.
Yeah, I think everyone should be there. But the thing is, like, yes, I understand your guilt because you're like, well, I have the power to influence this person one way.
Text,
But the thing is, then that becomes all consuming because times that by like 1,000, times it by 100,000. And it's like, then what happens if you say something and then they kill themselves? Now you have the opposite guilt effect. You're not a licensed psychiatrist. You don't know what to tell people. And so for me, it's like, I will make my videos and I'll be vocal about these are the things you can do. Here are the solutions for depression. Here's the resources you have, but I can't be accountable. I'm not trained for that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I had a conversation with another content creator, and we kind of came to the idea of the time spent like helping this one person where you're completely unsure of what you're doing. If you just focus on the stuff that you usually do, you help like way more people.
100%.
You know? And that's stuff that you're good at. So it's just like if you keep doing your thing, you'll be positively impacting a lot more people.
Definitely.
Well, you said that that's like one of obviously you have personal reasons that's a trigger.
Yeah.
With your sister, but like you said, you also talk about it in stand up. How is that? So I mean, I know it's obviously personal to you, and that's probably why you use it. But if it's a trigger to you, don't you think that that's kind of, you know, a touchy subject for you?
Yeah, I couldn't make a suicide joke for 7 years. So I was doing stand-up for 7 years before I could actually make a joke about it and laugh. And so then it became a thing of like, ooh, I like that it doesn't have this power over me anymore.
I see.
Because before, anytime someone would colloquially mention in conversation like, oh, if I had to sit in traffic for one more moment, I was going to kill myself. Like I would just feel crazy.
Yeah.
And I got to a point where I finally was like, oh, okay, if I can make it funny, if I can find a lens to laugh at it and to allow other people to laugh at it, that's so empowering for me. And it's also normal. I think suicide ideation should be more normalized because all of us, we're so isolated every day. We're not in the food chain anymore. So you just like live this weird existence where you're watching everyone's best lives on your screen alone in your fucking bedroom feeling like a loser. I feel like a lot of us go through periods of depression and wanting to kill ourselves and wondering if our life means anything. And there's been sort of this alarmist view like, oh God, if you have any of those thoughts, you're a freak and like you need to be on medication and you need to like go to therapy because you're crazy. Whereas I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure everyone gets to a point in their lives, maybe once or many times, where it even just crosses your mind like, should I kill myself? And so I like to try to normalize those feelings while also pointing out that that's not the answer.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I think everybody, I always assumed growing up, because even as a little kid, I didn't even understand it really, but I contemplated, that doesn't mean I was going to do it. I just, you know, everybody has those thoughts. I thought everybody would have those, but maybe not. I don't know.
I've thought about it.
Everybody has.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I think even in the opposite side of that spectrum, like we've all had like a small thought, like, man, I really want to kill that person.
Yeah.
But you know you shouldn't do that. So in that
Like
same,
every time I hold a knife and I'm by someone, I'm like, I could just stab them in the throat.
or like when you're driving, you're like, and there's a bicycle in the bicycle lane, you're like, oh my god,
I could end you.
Yeah, I could get 1 star on GTA right now.
You know, it's crazy. Like when you're driving, the only thing that's stopping both cars on the other side is just a line.
Yeah.
Just one line.
And sometimes it's dashed. It's not even a solid line.
Yeah, you could just literally just go left and the other person goes left. And you just I had to think about that.
Where it goes left.
Yeah, we saw.
It's just a line. It's just a line. So you know,
Yeah.
life can be short.
Yeah.
You never know where we're gonna go. We need to rhyme. Sorry.
Yeah,
I know.
it's crazy.
Man, they got real dark.
I know.
Real dark.
Since you brought up the first Twitter question, you want to keep rolling with that?
Oh no, it's just like
There's some
we're
good
trying
ones
to weave
today.
in because usually we do Twitter questions in the end. We're trying
Yeah,
to
but there's good questions.
seamlessly do these things.
There's
We
a
have interesting fans.
There's a tweet here. It's actually your tweet. On July 7th, you wrote, "Money, fame, success, status. All that shit disappears and is forgotten. How you help people, inspire others, empower and amplify voices other than your own. The extent of your kindness, that's the shit legacy is made of." I really like that. Like,
Thank you.
Like, what prompted you to like come up with this sort of tweet?
I think we all get caught up in the game of oh, I got to be more successful, I got to make more money, I got to, do all the cool things, and then you lose sight of what is actually important. And I feel like life is this really annoying cycle of doing that again and again and again. And that was just a reminder for me, because I was looking at Instagram, obviously, and like looking at things everyone else was doing. I was like, am I doing everything wrong? Like, should I be doing more of like what this is, or be more of like who this person is? And just feeling like I feel very lame a lot of the times. I feel like everyone's so much funnier and smarter and like, or inspiring or whatever. And I just never feel like I am doing enough. And so that to me, I was like, you know what? I can only affect as much as I can affect. Like, there's a really good quote by Mother Teresa that was like, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone and create many ripples. And to me, that's always the way I try to live, is like, it gets really overwhelming when you watch the news and you're like, I want to help the world, but I can't. So it's like, well, I can only cast as many ripples, and hopefully those people cast ripples as well, and try to be a positive force in the world. Because I feel like apathy has become very cool. Like, let me not care, let me not vote, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, well, in 11 years, global warming is going to be at the point of no return, you guys. Like, let's all chip in, let's all care. So yeah, I think that was just me reminding myself, like, don't get caught up in that bullshit too much.
What like you've done a lot of things, and what's driving you to like do so many things? I think earlier you said that you get bored pretty easily too.
Yeah.
But what is it inside of you that feels like, makes you feel like you need to do all of these things?
I'm
kind of curious.
I don't know. I was a really ambitious kid. Like, I remember my first dream was to be the first female president of the United States. Like, when I was 5, I was like, that is my path. I am Amy Poehler, before Amy Poehler existed. And I've always just felt like I want to do great things for humanity. And ultimately, I've realized like my strength is taking my life experience, or taking things that I'm feeling, and turning that into art that can hopefully like make people feel less alone, or inspire them. And so for me, I love playing in different mediums, because then you get all your life experience, and in a new medium, it's all up for grabs again. Like, versus YouTube, I'm like, I've talked about every topic there is to fucking talk about. I don't have anything else to say. But if I go to music, I'm like, everything I've ever gone through is now up for grabs. I can say all of that again in just a new medium. And so I like medium hopping as well. I think it keeps you creative.
So what are you gonna do when you run out of all of those feelings that you can sing about?
Oh, I don't have
new medium.
No, I got
Start
so many
painting?
feelings.
so many feelings. All right, good.
And like you said, it's a cycle, right? You might
Yeah.
come back to the other medium,
Yeah.
right? When you have more things to talk about.
Yeah.
But that is interesting, though. And I feel like you have to have. There's certain people in the world, I feel like, just have more energy than others, and I feel like you're one of those people. There's like, the people you watch on Instagram, like Kevin Hart, right?
Yeah.
Like somebody like you just look and you're like, man, how can he do all these things? Like, how does he have the mental capacity? Is that something you've always had, as like you said, as a little kid, or is it something that you had to like train yourself?
Prolificness, I feel, comes from organization and attention management. So I'm very, very good at time management. I can structure my time in a way that I'm like, oh, this is how I can maximize the amount that I can do. Some days, like, I'm tired and I don't want to do anything, and I clear my schedule and I just like lay around. But for the most part, I'm very good at when I have a task to do, I know exactly how to do it in the most efficient way possible.
And you don't get lost in that. Like, a lot of artists, once you're like in a zone, nothing else matters. You just keep going and you realize, I just used up my whole day. You don't go through that.
I do, but like I do it per project.
Right.
So I get very obsessed with one project, I complete it, and then I do all my others.
I see. Oh, well, that's discipline then at that point.
Yeah.
I have the opposite thing. I get excited about things, get into it, jump onto something else, kind of forget about it, come back, just I'm everywhere.
I think that's a good process too. If that's what works for you.
It's better to just finish things. I have a lot of unfinished things. Like I was like, this is a great idea, and sometimes I'll forget about it, come back and be like, man, I should have did that back when it was relevant.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta work off the muse
Yeah.
energy. Yeah, I have those too.
Yeah.
Do you like do you like the business aspect of what you do?
I do.
And versus the creative. I mean, is it like a 50-50 thing for you? Or?
Yeah, I really like Excel spreadsheets and color coordinated calendars.
Yeah, because you're
As
organized.
a creative person, though, that's like so left-brained, you know?
It's fun. It's a relief from creative because there's like, oh, there's one way to do this right. And if the numbers don't add up, then I have done the math wrong. Whereas creative, like the box, there's no box. So you're like, oh, I can do
structure,
anything.
yeah.
Yeah. Whereas the business side gives me a break from all of that. And I can be like, ooh, budget.
So you enjoy that stuff.
Yeah, I do.
I personally think that like if you have to have a little bit of that, like a little bit of organization to become a successful creative, because
Yeah.
if you don't have that or some sort of structure in your life, I feel like what you just said, you know, when you're creative, it's just there's no walls. It's just like a
Yeah.
energy that just goes outward. But you have to kind of bring it in and be like, okay, I'm going to use this energy to create a song.
Oh, yeah.
Or a film or a script. So I do think that that's super important.
Yeah. I mean, I have so many friends who are like way more talented than I am. They just don't have the discipline every day to like stick, either follow through to like finish something, or they're perfectionists and they like just finish it over and over and over again until they hate it and they throw the whole thing away. And I think for me, it's always like, I want to be at least 90% there and then I have to let it go. Like nothing's ever going to be perfect. So let it go once it's 90% of the way there. I mean, obviously if there's anything glaring you want to fix, yes. But I also know when to be like, okay, this has been enough time on this, like move on.
Yeah. So I read in your bio that your father was an officer in the United States Marine Corps. Thanks to him for his service. First off.
Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Akana.
Mr. Akana. Sorry, Akana. Do you think like because I have friends who grew up in military families as well. They travel all over the place. They're never in one place. It's hard for them to make friends. They're going to different schools all the time. But the thing that I respect about them is they're very well cultured. And I think that's something that people who travel a lot can really understand is you just have a general idea of just like people.
Yeah.
Like a really good balance of understanding of people. Do you feel that, I mean, were you traveling a lot?
Oh yeah. Every 6 months to 2 years.
Wow. So it was really difficult to make
I
friends.
liked it.
You liked it?
I liked it because I was
What,
like,
even as a kid?
yeah, because then I was like, oh, I get to leave and I can become whoever I want to be at this new
So
school.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's why I'm an actor because I would be like, I'm gonna be the shy girl
Yeah.
here in North Carolina,
Wow.
and then I was like, I don't like being the shy girl, so I was like, I'm gonna be the obnoxious one here in Hawaii. Like,
And
so-
you committed to it.
Yeah.
And you stayed in character for those like months.
Yeah, it was like a chance to like reinvent yourself over
Right.
and over again until you found out like what you liked, what you didn't like about yourself. And I got very good at chameleoning, so I can read a room and be like, I know exactly who I have to be to fit in, or I can just be myself.
So you know who your base is then.
Yeah.
Is that you right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a little turned up because we're performing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And because you drank some Ninja milk and tea and water and La Croix.
Yeah, you're pretty hydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's. Do you feel like the discipline also came from being in a like having your father being a Marine?
Yeah. I mean, I think I had the perfect bifurcation of show and business. So my dad was all like, every page you read, you get a penny. If you like pluck the weeds in the yard for 2 days, I'll give you Titanic on VHS. And so he taught me like hard work and discipline and like really valued education. And my mom is like more of a flowy, like really funny clown type who loves artistry. So she was always either painting or doing crochet or like some kind of like hobby. And so I grew up with both like discipline, but also like a really big emphasis on creativity.
That sounds like I feel like I've seen that Disney movie before, like a Disney Channel original with like the dad who's like the officer and then like the mom who's the creative, and then that's about you.
That's me.
It's very
Wendy
interesting
Wu.
life. That's very interesting. Oh, Wendy Wu. That's what Justin was on,
Oh,
right?
I don't know.
Oh, never mind. You don't
Look
support,
him up.
Yeah, you don't support your friends. All right, well, Speaking of hydration, we are going to our quick shishi break. So we'll be right back.
Right on time with my bladder.
And we're back. We've been back. Anyway, we clapped. Did you guys clap already?
I just did right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now we're officially back. Okay.
So let's get right into it. Paco.
What?
I think you should talk about your tweet.
Yeah.
No. We're talking about you guys.
Did you see his tweet?
No.
He's so stupid.
Ryan, you tell.
guys,
Bring
you
up the
tell.
tweet. I don't have it in front of me. Read it.
Guys.
Paco
We-
tweeted.
Yeah.
Paco's trying to stop the.
I know, but he tweeted it out loud, so go ahead.
No, first.
Anna's waiting, so. Okay.
Oh my
okay.
God.
That's
Paco
what I
Let me,
said.
all right, let me
tweeted.
take control of this.
Paco tweeted.
Let me take control of this.
Do you think Paco is cute? It had the most hearts.
It did. It got liked up very to the top. And I said it as a joke and to send it, and he actually sent it, so.
Oh, you tweeted it at yourself
At
with
the
what
off the bill.
questions to ask.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just asking your audience in third person
And you
if
can
they
be
thought
hon-
you were cute.
You can be honest. You don't have to make him feel good.
Actually,
put in the
don't make me feel
mysterious-
good.
Don't make you feel
Because
good?
that's kind of the theme of this podcast.
I think you're cute. Wow. Why are you doing that sound effect?
Because again, the theme of
Damn,
it,
you just made his life, I think.
dude, I'm good.
Yeah.
You're
good with life.
I would say you're objectively cute.
Dark joke. Oh, you know what
Yeah.
that? No,
She added objectively.
Yeah. You know when you say
I
objectively
think
cute
Paco's
though?
blushing
Yeah.
right now.
That
I know.
that means like, oh, personally, I don't find you
No,
attractive,
no.
but I can see
I'm
objectively.
saying you're an attractive man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But objectively,
I was
usually
actually-
takes
Well,
it down.
I'm just talking about physicality. Like in terms of like if I'm personally attracted to a person, I think women have the capacity to fall in love with people who aren't attractive and they become attractive to
yeah,
them
sure.
based on your personality. So for me, I can see a guy who's really hot and I'm like, that's a hot guy, but I don't feel
True.
anything
Same.
until I know them.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could say that about a guy, too.
Yeah.
But speaking about that, we also have in our notes recently in 2018 that you came out at a streaming award show
I did.
that you are bi.
I am bisexual.
I actually didn't see that clip, but we just looked it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
was fun.
I saw the video of you coming out to your parents.
Yeah, that was fun.
cute.
Yeah, thank you.
Your parents are very, very sweet. They
Yeah.
they seem very sweet people.
I've asked them to do another video and they were like, not yet. We just
Not yet.
yeah,
yet.
they were like, we need some more space. People need to like miss us more. And I was like, okay, all right, you guys.
Plan our video
Yeah.
first. That's so
Is
funny.
this something you knew for like a long time,
I
but you just
did-
didn't want to say it? Or
So I had a crush on a girl when I was like 11 or something, and I told my friend, and she was like, Anna, you're just trying to be interesting.
that's what she said to you?
Yeah. So for a long time, I thought like, oh, I'm just a straight girl trying to be like interesting.
Well, so you didn't even know.
No, and I'm bisexuality. I thought you had to be like half and half, and I'm not half and half. I skew more male. But in talking to some bisexual ladies in the last year or so, they were like, no, like any amount of bisexuality is valid. Like I have a friend who's predominantly a lesbian, but she's attracted to like a guy here and there, and she's like, I'm still very much bisexual. I don't identify as a lesbian.
It's like a spectrum, right?
Yeah, it's a huge spectrum,
And no one's like on the very opposite ends.
Yeah, no. Because if you're on the opposite end, you're gay. Like, so it's like bi is like I'm attracted to both, but it may not be the same amount per. And I think it's like actually very rare to have like an exact 50-50.
You know what I found interesting? Sorry, that I didn't know this, but did you get a lot of pushback from the gay community? Because there is pushback.
Yeah, there is.
They feel like it's so interesting to me because it took so long for you to accept gay people, and then now that people are coming out as bi, gay people there's some actual pushback against bi people.
They think like straight people think it's either a stepping stone to being gay, and gay people think like you're actually straight and just like having fun with the other
I've seen
gender.
people say like, "Oh, selfish."
Yeah, it's selfish or whatever. And it's funny, like I think being bi and Asian, I was like, I have both invisibility things in the media. I just don't exist. I'm the invisible woman. But yeah, I have had some pushback from gay people, like especially because they're like, well, have you ever had sex with a woman? Have you ever dated a woman? I was like, do I need to ever have sex with a guy to know that I'm attracted to a guy? Like that's not a thing. Like it's just ridiculous. But it's fun. It's been a fun journey.
When you said you were 11, right? Was it 11?
Yeah, I think so.
And you said you had a crush on a girl. I don't know about the anatomy of a female, like in terms of like sexual, like when you start feeling sexual desire.
It's like when you want to press your face to their face.
Okay, so I'm assuming
David
when
hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, I'm inexperienced, but when you're 11, you weren't sexual, right? Like you didn't have
attracted to
or
this
pretty
girl?
sexual,
Oh, you
very
did?
young.
That's
Okay.
kinda, that's kind of common though, no? Like that's like puberty, right? Like even for
That's
like
like
sixth grade.
5th grade.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay, wait, is that 5th grade?
I was like,
No,
like
11, sixth
8.
grade.
I was reading like naughty novels I stole
Oh,
from
really?
my
That's
mom.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know why?
Okay.
You had to grow up fast, right? Because you're traveling all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. I'm just assuming things about you.
So when you were 11, you did have like a sexual kind of like desire for the other girl that you
Yeah, I don't know if I was like I wanted to fuck her when I was 11, but I
Right,
definitely was
right.
like I like her, like I want to kiss her.
Oh, you want to kiss? Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, she's so pretty. Like I want to.
No, she was like more of a butch girl. She was more of a tomboy.
Gotcha.
I've always been much more
Oh,
into tomboys.
interesting.
Yeah.
What I've always been like kind of curious about that. Like, what draws a girl into a butch girl versus like a more
Very pretty.
like a whatever
Girly
feminine girl.
I don't know. I guess to me, like tomboys have always been like they're cute and they're edgy and like they're a little rough and tumble and they have really good hair that's like short but it's like gorgeous and coif and I don't know. I feel like I want to sit on the back of her skateboard or something.
Well, it's interesting because the way that like you kind of like portray yourself is like you're very edgy in
Yeah.
that aspect. And a lot of times people will say, "Oh, opposites attract."
Yeah.
So does that mean like if it's true in your case that opposites attract, that I guess in your more personal life you're kind of more docile and like you're very
No. I mean, I don't know. I'm very masculine energy in my career. So I feel like I have attracted a lot of women who are more feminine. But I know in my relationships, I need to be the more feminine one because I get too like resentful if I have to be the one who plans everything and does everything and controls the relationship. So I think I've been always attracted to types that have more of that masculine energy because I'm like, ooh, I can like relax in my relationship, but then like have my masculine energy in my career.
got it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you, I mean, you're pretty openly like a very strong feminist, right?
Yeah.
But you still see, well, I mean, I know there's different definitions of feminist these days. Like not everybody has the same definition, but like in terms of like in that relationship you're just describing, like having a guy have it to plan those things, you don't think those roles should be equally split up between the man and woman?
No, I'm a feminist in the sense that I advocate for equality for women, but also for equality for men in the sense of emotional vulnerability. Like, I think feminism is also trying to get rid of toxic masculinity. So I have been attracted to men who are like kind of feminine in their energy. It really just depends. I mean, there's so many variations of like what can get along with a person.
Right.
But I do know in my relationships, like, I'm such a controlling, calculated person already that I want someone who can sort of not be pushed around by my energy and can push back.
Interesting.
And be
I
like,
feel
no,
like you would naturally want somebody who would be.
no.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no.
You want the fight.
Not even just a fight, but someone who can like,
Yeah.
have a boundary and hold their boundary.
Right.
But it's also, and this is what I got also from like Ali Wong's special, is because she's somebody who's also very much so like driven and calculated in that aspect. But they want to be like, it's almost like not necessarily the opposition, but that they can respect the other person.
Yes,
Like, oh,
yes.
okay, all right. It's not going to be easy. I don't just get to control my own world.
Yeah. Like you want someone who like it feels like you're an equal. Like I've financially supported partners before and it just doesn't. I just hate it. And so I need someone who's confident in who they are and who's doing their own thing and is down to be like, no, we're not going to do that. I don't want to do that. And I'll be like, okay, cool.
But you won't push back. You like that.
Oh, I'll push
actually.
back for sure.
But you like that. That's
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because that also adds that aspect of like, that you're still working towards something, you know?
Yeah.
And you know that, oh, they're invested in this.
Yeah. I like debate.
I guess like one of the thoughts I have with the whole bisexuality thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you kind of see it as like you don't see guy and girl, you kind of just see personality and kind of what they stand for, and then because like when do you choose to date a dude versus
Date a woman?
a woman? Yeah, or is it like
Which
is
is
it
it? You lean
depending on-
more towards male.
I date more men. I have been dating women since I've
Yeah.
come out.
and I'm sure they're very different.
They're so different. I
Right?
made a video about it. I hope it's not going to be offensive, but it's called like I've dated women and now I understand men. Because I like would take women out on dates and they'd never offer to pay for their half of dinner or like
interesting.
Yeah, and I would be like, what the fuck? And like I was talking to my male friend, I was like, I feel like this girl's just asking me out, so like I'll buy her dinner because she always suggests these like nice restaurants and like I'm like, what the fuck? And he was like, oh yeah, that's a thing women do.
Yeah,
and I was like, what?
Is it, well, how did you decide that? I mean, between you two, like, why didn't you be the one like, I'm not gonna pay?
Well, I felt awkward.
But also, are you the one that asked them out?
No, she asked me out.
That's
Wait, yeah.
Wow, you got.
I got
women.
screwed. Yeah.
Wait, so that but that was just one experience.
With one
feel like
lady,
it
yeah.
happens.
But with other women, it's been like, I had someone invite me in and she was like, do you want to come in and make out? And I was like, yeah, all right, you're like pretty, whatever. And then she just talked like till 3 a.m., which I don't mind, but like I was like, we're not making out at all. You're a liar.
You seem like more the guy.
What if a guy
like that is more of a guy thing?
What if a guy said the same thing?
Then I would expect to make out.
It
Gotcha.
probably would have happened.
No,
Yeah.
but then the guy brings you in, and then he talks about his emotions till 3. Who are you more mad at, the guy or the girl?
Ooh,
I think
good
it would
question.
depend on what they're talking about. Like the girl was talking about, it wasn't
Let's
like
just say
it wasn't same thing. I would probably be pissed too. Well, the thing is, the premise of bringing me into the house with promises of kissing
One
me.
thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like if you just said, do you want to come in and talk? I would be like, yeah, cool. And then like expect talking. But to say, let's make out and then only talk to me till 3 a.m. I'm like, I gotta go.
These Tinder people.
No, I can't do Tinder. So I do Raya.
What's that?
Raya's like people in the industry.
Oh,
Is that one like you
that was
gotta
a
be
thing.
like vetted?
Yeah,
and all
yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're talking about other actresses.
Actors, directors, DPs, people who are on
Gaffers.
Yeah, gaffers.
That's probably a good networking
PAs.
thing.
Yeah, actually, they have a section just for networking.
Oh, really?
And then they have a section for dating. Yeah.
Interesting.
Wait, so going back, so because I don't know if my answer was my question was answered. When do you choose a girl versus a dude? Like, is it based off of like your like certain season, or you just want to try out
seasonal?
like try out
get bored? Like, you get bored,
because
right?
you were just recently you said recently you've been dating women,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's like,
But wait.
Why not,
Are you
like-
only dating women?
No,
right now?
I'm dating both.
So it's a mix.
so
It's
you're
a
going
mix.
back and forth.
Yes.
Okay.
It just depends on like who's cool, who's trying, like who do I vibe with when we meet up for dinner finally. Like dating in LA is its own special thing, so it's kind of awful. And there's
Talk
some
about
peop-
that. How so? I don't know what that means.
Oh my God, Ryan, it's so bad. Dating here is
But what-
awful.
Because it's expensive?
It's not just that people are weird. They're super flaky.
Is it because everybody's very beautiful here?
Not even just that. Like people are really commitment phobic. Like I'll have people I date for 3 months. I'll be like, okay, it's time for us to be in a relationship now, and they're like, no.
That is that a LA thing?
It's a super. I don't even think it's just like an LA thing. It's very LA focused, but it's like it's coastal.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah,
like
it's very
a
coastal.
lot of like the West Coast is kind of like that, where it's just like, hey, dude, I'm just trying to live my best
Yeah.
life.
Like how New York is, right? That's what they're known
Yeah.
for, like hookup culture.
Yeah.
I could
They're
be
always
pissing
like,
off people
it's
right
like
now,
when
but-
you're at a party and you're talking to someone and they keep looking over your shoulder to see who else is in the room. That's what dating here feels like.
I haven't had that happen. I probably was the person, but didn't notice.
Yeah, I think in LA,
Just got so sad.
Yeah.
everyone.
Covered for him.
Thanks, David.
I did try to cover.
Thanks.
I think everyone's trying to like look for the next best thing.
Yeah.
In dating and in work and in everything, right?
Yeah.
In LA, because everyone's
Yeah.
it's like a transplant city, and everyone's just trying to make it. They're they don't have a strong foundation here.
Yeah. And everyone I think settles down a lot later on the coast, whereas like women, we're still bound by our biological clock if we want to have children, and you know the norm the what do you call it way, the physical way versus like adopting out. And so I mean, I think women are just ready to settle down a lot sooner than all the men here.
Do you want to have kids?
I do. Really
Does that
badly.
mean does that mean a girl is out? Or you want
No,
to have it
if
in a
I found the
different
right
way?
woman, I would adopt or like do artificial insemination. But I have always seen myself ending up with a man because I am more man skewed.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you have a video that's speaking on what was the title again?
I dated girls and now I understand men.
What are some of the like a few things that you
Well,
understand
they were
more
like
about men?
the makeup thing, the make out thing, I mean, and then this one girl kept joking about us getting married, like on our first date. And I got really like
That's when you were like, whoa.
That's so
I don't-
LA.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
We've hung out for 2 hours. And I've been guilty of making those kind of jokes on dates. It's just like a fun, flippant thing to do. And then I was like, oh my God.
The guy probably, or with the guys.
Yeah.
But it's not on the first date, right?
I mean, I've made jokes.
If it's obviously a joke, I don't see anything wrong with that, right? But I could see how that could freak someone out.
Yeah.
What does a fun date look like for you?
I love activities. So like an escape room, bowling, laser tag. Like I love going and doing a thing.
But and see, so that's something that I've kind of adapted as dating because a lot of times guys will just be like, "Oh, do you want to get dinner?"
Yeah.
But then it feels like an interview.
Yeah.
And so when you do an activity together, not only are you guys working together to do stuff, you're creating physicality and
Yeah.
you're allowing for like playful touching and stuff. And then if you do have, it's true though, it's true.
You're allowing for playful touching.
touching.
I mean, I'm not just gonna be like intimate groping.
Anna was giggling.
Playful touching.
Playful touching sounds a lot nicer. So after the playful touching, you guys can have dinner and then like talk like, oh, it was really fun, and then you have something to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think you learn a lot about people and doing activities for them, like versus just sitting down and talking
Yeah.
to someone at dinner can be kind of boring.
Because actions speak louder than words.
Yes, this is true.
Playful touching.
Playful touching.
That's my. I'm gonna say that now. David, you ready for some
man.
playful touching?
That is very.
David, what's the last time you had some playful touching?
And we turned into like a dating. That's good advice. Now we know.
Yeah.
Don't make jokes about getting married on the first date. Actually, you know what? If both of you are making those jokes, is that okay?
I think if both of you are on the same page, yes. But
I feel like do you go on dates like you just met them? Because I feel like if they didn't know your comedy, because you are not I don't think you're considered the average girl in terms of your comedy, right? Is there some kind of disclaimer? Because if you were to make those jokes, you have that not like deadpan, I'm not making a joke face, right?
I don't know.
You do sometimes.
I think you
I
do.
do.
Yeah.
But
a little
that's
dry.
why it's funny. Yeah, the
Oh.
dry humor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of. But like I can see someone if we just met, I was like, I'm not sure if she's being serious or not.
I try to make it obvious that I'm joking.
okay.
I try.
If they watched you, they would know.
Yeah. I
But if
try to
they're
get
me-
people though that don't watch me or know me.
Yeah,
Because then
right,
they
right,
have.
right.
I feel like you have a preconceived idea. I try not to Google anybody before I go on a date with them, other than to see if there's like a crazy headline about them being like I don't know problematic.
Yeah. Or
If,
somehow.
if they have a hashtag, next to
Yeah.
them, you're just like,
Yeah.
oh.
No.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then when I like them is when you do the deep dive.
What's the best thing about dating a guy, and what's the best thing about dating a girl?
I think the best thing about dating girls so far has been the conversation. Like if there's anything that comes up, like I feel very safe to have a conversation about it. Like, hey, you said this thing and it made me feel a little bit like this, but like I know you're in touch. It wasn't this way. Like, but it can get to be over communicating. And I think the best thing about dating guys, it really depends on the guy. But for the most part, I like feeling taken care of, like emotionally, and I feel like a lot of guys are very nurturing in that way.
Nurturing.
Yeah, like they're down to like I like hanging out with someone and they take initiative. So he's like, oh, I'll call the Uber, or I'll schedule the date, or I'll do this. Like I'll take you on a thing, so I don't have to like mentally worry about. Whereas when I'm with a girl, I'm usually the one planning and like taking action.
So generally speaking, would you say that females, it's more of a it's great communication on an emotional level, and then guys generally tend to take care of people better, or take care of
Women.
just take care of women or men
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah, on a date, I feel like men are very good at taking care of you if they're the kind of personality that can't. It's hard to generalize because everyone's so
yeah,
different.
yeah.
But yeah, I do find with women the communication is a lot more clear.
Interesting.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm not a good communicator. I don't think so.
No, you're not.
I think most guys aren't though.
I mean,
in
you're not
comparison
really
to
like
women.
encouraged to be or trained to be. They said on average, a woman speaks 16,000 words a day and a guy speaks 10,000.
Really?
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Yeah.
I think I speak probably about
You start counting.
3,000 words a day.
Okay. Well, is that all we have for our questions? We got away from that for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's. Would you consider yourself to be a successful person? That's from
Man.
Twitter actually.
I know from the outside, yes. On the inside, no.
Really? Why?
Explain, yeah.
I don't know. I just feel
And I guess because there's different levels you can have success, right? Like you
Yeah.
can have a personal success, career success. So do you just overall see everything as unsuccessful, or do you?
I don't see it as unsuccessful. I just see it as like a process, and I feel like I'm still in the process. Versus if I look out objectively and I see what other people see, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I would consider that successful compared to most. But inside, I don't feel like I am successful.
Is that because you think once you feel that way, you'll stop wanting to pursue all these different things, or pushing yourself to do it?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm still me, if that makes any sense. Like, do you consider yourself successful?
I think I would if I'm thinking of what I wanted when I was younger. But then when I got here, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think.
There's like levels to it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I unlocked this achievement, and now it's to the next stage. kind of
Yeah.
thing, like a
It's so
video game.
incremental and small, too,
Yeah.
that it
Yeah.
doesn't ever feel like, oh, I have reached my peak, you know?
Yeah. I mean, when I was like a kid, my idea of success was just like making X amount of money.
Yeah.
Like that was just like, okay, this is why I'm going to get this job, do this. And once I did it, made that amount that I was trying to get to, I realized, okay, this is not success.
Yeah.
And it might be because I got there. Maybe if I never reached it, then it would have been like I'm always chasing something.
Yeah.
I think I think if you once you consider yourself successful, it's hard to say. It's everyone's definition, but I think then you kind of just do nothing, right?
Well, isn't success also, I feel like success is always changing. Like your idea of it is changing as you're doing more things. And so it's always away. It's always farther than you, if that makes sense. Like I always was like, my definition of success is when there's two projects I really want to do and I have the offers on both and I have to choose between them. And then I got there and I was like, okay, now my definition of success is being the lead of a movie. And I got there and I'm like, okay, well now my definition of success is being a Marvel superhero in a movie, or like, and so it just keeps like going farther away.
You were in a Marvel movie.
Well, I wasn't a superhero. I was a journalist.
True.
But
But you were in a Marvel
You know
movie.
what?
maybe
That's
as
still pretty
you're
cool.
writing,
That
is
a
something
superhero.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
pretty
superhero.
Or
awesome.
you come across like a magic pen, and it's just like.
I mean, I think
Are you
that is a
trying to pitch?
character.
All right, I
Pitching
don't
right
know. I'm just saying it's possible.
Okay.
It's possible.
All right.
All right.
I mean, you still have the goal of becoming the first female president.
No, I don't want to be in politics.
That hasn't been taken yet. Aren't you pretty opinionated on that?
I am, but I'm not
personally.
educated enough in politics. I don't understand how the system works intricately. I have friends that are way more qualified than I am, and I just was like, I can't.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
But even about like opinions, I'm swayed easily.
Really?
It's not swayed. It's more just like I'm very open to hearing every side.
I think
of
that's
things.
a good quality to have, though.
But it's also, I've been told it's bad because it's like, oh, you're just a sympathizer.
A centrist.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I just want to hear both sides. There's a
Yeah.
reason why both sides are so like 100% they're right, you know? Mm-hmm. So I just like to see both sides because I'm not smart enough to know. Like,
I find it interesting.
right?
There's only two sides. I mean, there are many sides,
yeah.
but technically speaking, it's like, why is it just blue and red? Can't there be like purple and brown and
I mean, there are. They're
green
just
and
too small.
yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Well, we
and
gotta
then
give
you can't, no, but you can't support that because then they'll say, you're actually helping the other side because it's never going to win. That
Yeah.
middle ground's never going to win.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think these little parties should get some love too.
I agree.
Like, yeah,
They don't have a shot, but they should.
They don't have a shot at all. But
Yep.
let's give them a shot. I'm starting my own party.
Yeah.
I'll support you. Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty much it then.
Yeah. Is there anything you want to? Like,
I have a question.
Sure,
Real
yeah.
quick,
Oh, okay, I
though.
guess not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just more about the stand-up thing because you're
Yes.
talking about it in the beginning. And I was just, so when is there like, because you know you're a strong feminist. And when it comes to comedy, though, are there things that you feel shouldn't be joked about?
I think every topic is up for grabs if you can A, make it funny, and you're B, not perpetuating some kind of hate speech or violence or any kind. Like, I think as problematic as he is, Louis C.K. made a really good pedophile joke where he talked about, like, you know, it must be so good for a pedophile to do this because of the repercussions involved. Or like he was the first person who was like, oh, I had a baby and now I understand why there are dumpster babies. So he was really good at taking previously taboo topics and putting them in such a specific lens that they were okay to laugh at.
Right.
And they weren't necessarily condoning the behavior of people. It was just putting it in a very unique light that you looked at and you thought, yeah, okay, I understand that that's funny. So I think like any topic is up for grabs as long as you can find whatever that unique light is. But I think the hard thing with comedy is we're incredibly politically correct now, and I think that has a lot of pros to it. But it takes a long time to craft a masterpiece fucking joke, and you have to try it out over and over on audiences. And now when people record you in that process trying to find that lens, you can be viewed as incredibly problematic.
Canceled.
Yeah, canceled immediately.
Because when Louis came back, you heard about how his set was filmed.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I guess who is exempt from having to always be politically correct? Because a comedian's job is to find like, oh, this is a line that we shouldn't be crossing, and we're supposed to push boundaries and stuff.
Well, I think the Louis thing's different because he had a problematic, Me Too movement, and everyone was mad that he came back and he didn't talk about it. If he had made his entire set about that behavior and made himself the butt of the joke and really showcased some learning along the way from that experience, I think he would have been embraced, because that's what we really wanted, right? We wanted him to learn from it, to grow, and to apologize. And instead, he's just made a bunch of jokes that were completely irrelevant. So it was like an elephant in the room. I don't think anyone is exempt necessarily, but I think if you're in comedy, you have to be hyper aware that anything you say on stage can be taken at face value, because people are not comedians. They don't know that you're going on stage 100 times to figure out this one bit and get it perfectly right.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even just being on stage, I feel like that gives you a certain like freedom. Like, even just like if you were to say something on Twitter, the same thing, if you were to tweet it, that same thing can come to haunt you. But if you said it on a stage with a mic and it looks like a stand-up set, you can get away with a lot more.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the whole Kevin Hart thing. He had some tweet. What did he say that he got the most recent scandal?
It was like the whole like calling his friends like gay or the F slur word.
Yeah, something like that. And then like I feel like if someone said that on stage, it's like a different lens. Like it's like that's okay.
Well, there's also no tone online, so you can't really understand that something is a joke.
And the
Which is
thing
what he
about
was
that
trying to
tweet was
say.
like it was like 10 years ago, and like he so the whole
It was
thing
also a
about
different
digging
time.
up the past.
Yeah, that I think is an important thing to look at, because people dig up all these old tweets, and I'm like, it was okay to say that back then.
Yeah.
It was
It was,
okay to
yeah.
say retarded back then.
Yeah.
Like, you have to look at it through the cultural lens. Like, I watched Bring It On at the Hollywood Cemetery recently. That movie's so homophobic.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's like every time they called someone like a dyke or a fag, like the whole audience was like, boo! And it's like, understandably so, that's not okay anymore.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was totally accepted.
It's a different language almost. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I have a video that's still up that has the word fag in it. And like, I don't want to take it down because at the time, like I said, nobody complained about it.
Yeah.
And I called it out. So, and I was obviously said like, this is a different time. And,
Yeah.
But I'm not going to take it down because of when it was made. And it's clear that it was a different time. And I said, I'm not going to use that now.
Yeah.
Right. But, yeah, it's crazy that that's out there. And like, if I tried to hide it, people would find it
100%.
and make it a thing.
Oh, yeah. People have pointed out, like, I used to do a podcast with an ex where the whole point was shocking answers. And so one of the questions, like, if you could get away with a crime, what would it be? And I was like, I would rape a man, because I was like, that's so funny. It's impossible, or whatever. And we all discussed the questions and answers ahead of time. But it like blew up on Reddit as me being
Later
like,
down the road? Or at
later,
the time?
way later.
Yeah,
like
right.
5 years later or something.
Right.
And I was like, no, this is a horrible, cringy joke. I was trying to be funny. Also, like, that's the way you cope with assault. When you've been assaulted, you try to make light of it, or you use that kind of language. And
Cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, that's a good note to end on. Yeah. But with that being said, thank you. Is there anything you want to plug or talk about?
I'm releasing a music video every month on my channel.
Every single month. All right. So go to Akana. It's just Akana?
Yeah,
Okay.
Wait, don't you have 13 songs though?
I do. One a month
So
for 13 months.
Yeah. Doesn't mean 1 year.
it does. It's like, where's the 13th?
It's a leap year, so 13
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you again for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
And make sure you follow us at Off the Pill Podcast on Twitter and at Off the Pill on Instagram. I might have mixed those up. Was that right? Nope. At Off the Pill on Twitter, at Off the Pill Podcast on Instagram. It's an ongoing joke that we're never going to make it the same thing, right? At this point. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
sure,
right.
sure.
With that being said, thank you again. This is how we end it. We never really told you, but we just breathe into the mic. In 3, 2, 1. By this time, since you're the third person, that mic probably smells a little bit. We don't always wipe
I cleaned it.
No, but they're all girls too, so.
It has been all girls. It's
Okay.
been nice.
Yeah.
Yay!